All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between a Hailua and TGW, taking place here on Tide Hunters. TGW spawning as the green Night Elf on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Hailua spawning as the orange human. First things I'm going to say, I am still trying to figure out my game settings, audios, and all of those wonderful settings that I've taken for granted after years and years of casting on my now 10-year-old retired PC. Hopefully, I don't know where old PCs go after they are no longer supported for security updates. But, well, it's sitting right behind me in a black, beautiful case with a whole bunch of memories. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this 1v1 matchup here. We see, well, orange human on the top left-hand side. Oh, Hailua using that little militia trick, purposely calling to arms just to run from one side of the building to another, and then going back to work and then setting up a farm. So, I don't know, all of those small differences, if they do add up in the end, that is up for you to decide whether or not it makes a big difference. If that farm finishes just in time for more workers to get trained up, that would be one of those instances where, hey, you tried to save your, oh wow, is it gonna be, oh my gosh, wow, that 1 second actually cut down the training time of the peasant by or half a second, made a slight difference there. All right, we'll see if that one peasant makes a difference, if lumber is strapped and all of those things, but just one of those examples for those of you guys out there who are wondering, how do seconds add up in Warcraft 3 or any real-time strategy? You were looking right at it. All right, I don't know if I should be geeking out about something like that, as we are going to be going into Warden versus Archmage play. Warden does come across here, currently has not trained up an ability yet. You can see the Ancient of War is tanking that damage, and what's important is that the Null Assassin is trying to poison this Ancient of War. I know I've said it in the past, but if you guys were ever wondering why this Ancient of War is such a powerful just a damage sponge early on, it is because those Null Assassins who normally deal poison damage and then want to spread that damage across multiple targets cannot do exactly that. All right, Footman down to 45 hit points. Are we going to get another tick down to 3 hit points? Warden going to try and catch up, does get the final shot and takes it out. Meanwhile, Archmage going to be coming around the corner, is going to pick up the Ring of Regeneration. That's going to be a big item pickup. There goes a Wisp. Oh, is he going to pick up the item? No, allowing the Warden to pick up that very, very expensive item right there. Oh, missed opportunity. TGW picking up that Ring of Regeneration. Even if you don't want the Ring of Regeneration, it is denying gold to your opponent while getting gold yourself. All right, Archmage. Wow. Formation movement must be on here. A little bit interesting as we see another Footman trying to retreat back here. TGW has dealt some serious damage onto those Footmen here. Ring of Regeneration gonna make it so that those Moonwells do not need nearly as much mana, as the Warden is going to be continually regenerating some of those hit points. There goes another Shadow Strike. Warden trying to get damage here. Are we going to see enough damage go down onto that Footman here? Footman actually tries to re-engage again, and now going to back up once more. All right, these Moonwells are getting drained relatively quickly. You got to be careful there. We're going to see a deny. Yet, I believe the Warden did get that little bit of experience, and now the Warden does have enough for another Shadow Strike. All right, trying to rack up some damage. There's a new Water Elemental being placed down. Low hit point Footmen are retreating back home and waiting for that Arcane Vault to be done. Meanwhile, what is this Warden looking to do? Clarity Potions, get some mana, and then be able to chase down some of those units. Warden could also make a long night here with that Moonstone, extending Nightfall just a little while longer. Meanwhile, Archmage making its way off to the north here, and I wonder, has that, I know that Pad, I don't know if actually Pad watches my cast or not, but during replays, I think in the past, this clock was not always in tune, especially after Moonstones. We'll see if that's going to be the case here, and if anyone wants to direct pad, as we see the Warden trying to go after this here. There's a fan of knives, nearly level 3. All really needed to get to level 3. Just 1 more or 3 more experience would have been enough. Are we going to see another fan of knives here trying to go after this Footman? Footman down to 53 hit points. A lot of damage being done. We're going to see a deny. There's level 3 now on the Warden. Warden can come across with level 2 Shadow Strike, and that's going to rack up a large amount of damage. Archmage could be in trouble, already down to 260 hit points, and that's going to drop a little bit more, each tick dealing 20 damage. As the heroes do have a little bit of resistance. All right, archers are going to try and shadow meld. We can see Huntress now joining in on the fight here, but it still has that unarmored armor type taking bonus damage from piercing. Meanwhile, Warden is going to try to dive after this Footman here. Does have a Cloak of Shadows, not very effective on the Warden, but does allow that shadow meld to also work during daybreak. That item most likely will just be sold, and this Warden still regenerating hit points very nicely. Coming back around, Ancient of Wonders now tanking a bit of damage. This is a little bit of a surprise, as the Glaive also doing quite a bit of bouncing here. That Glaive bouncing onto that Forest Troll Berserker, dealing 9 damage per attack. Really, rather impressive here, as we're going to be looking at the Forest Troll Trapper as well. So taking large amounts of damage from that backline. Ancient of Wonders tanking damage, as we see Claws of Attack +5 now drop. Warden, Clarity Potion, and Shadow Melding Ancient of War out on the very, very front part of the battlefield here. Yeah, so what is this Ancient of War doing so far off to the north? It took a long walk to get into position. And are we also going to be getting those upgraded glaives? There's that Tree of Eternity now. Are we getting the glaives? We are. Upgraded Moonglaive. And now going to have that heavy armor type. All right, so a rifleman getting trained up here. No Overseer going to get taken down. Paladin as the second hero. Paladin could get in some Holy Lights as well. Riflemen are going to find themselves not being able to pick apart these Huntresses. And now the Huntress is also going to be good at tanking these enraged elementals too. Ancient of War absorbing quite a bit of damage. TGW coming back across here. We're looking at the Ogre Magi taking quite a bit. And you can see that Glaive bouncing to an additional target and now going after the enraged elemental here. Meanwhile, Archmage, some very aggressive creeping by the human player, as the Paladin will get to level 2 here off of this creep camp. Also picks up a health stone. That is going to be a big item, as the Paladin now going to have slightly better regeneration, and also that health stone can act as a greater mana potion. There's going to be a lot of healing, as well, Hailua sitting at 48 over 50 supply compared to TGW's 30 over 40. How is he so far behind in terms of gold, or in terms of supply at this point? All right, 14 workers. Archmage going to come across here. You can see the Huntresses, well, kind of going to shake off all of that damage, as Peasants now getting set up once more. All right, Scout Towers getting added. We can see some Arcane Towers here, and a Proxy Workshop to start lobbing attacks, perhaps with those Siege Engines. Ancient Protector already going to root itself here, getting up an additional Ancient of Wonders, perhaps, as the Warden may try to, Fan of Knives this backline position. All right, all of these Peasants, but they're not doing anything just quite yet. That Ancient Protector, well, what's going to go down here, as we're looking at archers getting cleaned up. All right, in comes the Fan of Knives. Riflemen not being able to deal much damage against those Hunters unless they are really heavily focused. Meanwhile, all of these Peasants could be trying to build up a new workshop here, or doing something else, as this Scout Tower is taking quite a bit of damage. There goes another Huntress again, and this tower attempt, such a heavy tower push coming across, as the Paladin now gets to level 3. With level 2 Holy Light, that is going to be some major damage indeed, as Huntress after Huntress is starting to fall, even with heavy armor. All right, Ancient Protector is offering a bit of position. Are we going to see this Scout Tower, or what is going on here? Workshop needs to train up perhaps a couple of Peasants, or a couple of mortar teams, as we see another detonation go down. All right, Priest down to 139 hit points. More Priests coming in to join in on the fight here. Workshop hasn't trained up anything new, as this Scout Tower needs to get some repairs. Ancient Protector easily finishing off that Arcane Tower as it was under construction. Big Fan of Knives. There's a Holy Light to save a Priest. This Priest perhaps not going to get nearly as lucky, down to 25 hit points, going to get taken out, as we're still looking at more heals coming across the board. Level 3 going up against a level 5 Warden. Warden doesn't have that much mana left, but there are some full moon wells off to the side here. If the Warden can get in position to drink back up all of that moon well juice, as we see Glaive Throwers now getting added. Alright, so Glaive Throwers trying to offer a bit of protection here, throwing in that damage. We are looking at a time of day. It doesn't have that artificial nightfall timing there. Is the sun moving? No, it is not. Alright, so good. Alright, more attacking as the Ancient Protector now going to get taken out. Water Elemental down to 22 hit points. It gets taken out. There's a Fan of Knives. Warden sitting at level 5 here, continuing to push back the other way. Why build this workshop unless you are going to get mortar teams? That is the question now, as the Glaive Thrower, Ancient Protector, and Huntresses are showing up here. Alright, we're going to try and put in a little bit more pressure. The Huntresses do not have nearly the same range as these upgraded Riflemen, as we see another Fan of Knives come across here. More repairs underway, more pressure being placed down. This workshop has not trained anything of importance, as the Warden still sits here at level 5. Are we going to get another Fan of Knives? I believe we are. Waiting for it. No Fan of Knives yet, even though we're at 95 hit points. Just go for it. What is the Warden doing here? The Warden falls at level 5 by TGW, giving level 4 to the Archmage. Perhaps caught away from the action here, as the Archmage continuing to put pressure down. Alright, Ancient Warden trying to get trained up here. And I have this very, very strange feeling. Nope, Warden back out onto the battlefield, resurrected at the tavern. I thought for a moment perhaps TGW lagged out, or perhaps it was some sort of desync issue on the replay, but no desync issue. Warden sitting at level 5, Glaives throwing in the pressure. Mortar team, first mortar team now finally getting added in, as the Glaive Throwers trying to attack from a very, very far range. Warden does have level 3 Phantom Knives. Are we going to see a level 3 Phantom Knives? Yes, used right there, and there's a quick mortar team getting taken out. Archmage falls at level 4, giving the Warden level 6. Are we going to be trying to drink up a little bit more again? We are. And now the Warden picks up that Mantle of Intelligence and now has an Avatar of Vengeance. This is going to be key. Avatar of Vengeance has plenty of corpses to try to summon up more units, and with this invulnerable army could deal quite a bit of damage. Alright, needs to summon up a little bit more. Glaive Throwers, what are these Spirit of Vengeances doing? They are not engaging in the battle. You have an invulnerable army. And why aren't they engaging? That is the necessary question now, as we're going to see some more Spirit of Vengeances joining in on the battlefield here. Alright, Priest taking some piercing damage. Warden, Phantom Knives, cleaning things up here, as we're seeing more damage getting added in. Alright, so the Avatar of Vengeance needs to summon up more and more of those Spirit of Vengeances. Priest showing up onto the battlefield. That unarmored armor type just taking so much damage, as another Spirit of Vengeance could get popped up here in just a moment. Alright, wait for it. No? Nope, not gonna do that. Instead, Clarity Potion on the Warden. And what is going on here? Avatar of Vengeance looking for targets to attack. Human being forced to retreat all the way back now. And we are looking at the Warden nicely healing up once more. Alright, it is currently artificial nightfall still, but it seems like the clock is still progressing forward. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an issue. Yeah, it's 6:20, but the time says that that's wrong. Yeah, Pad, maybe I should message Pad. I don't know if he knows that. Ancient Oborg are going to clean up the rest of the scout tower down here. Another Ancient Protector being placed down. Priest trying to hide in the back. This Spirit of Vengeance looking to deal more damage. Warden could try and blink in here, get a big Fan of Knives. No blink, just going to go Fan of Knives across the units and deal damage one at a time. That is better armor here. Are we going to see another Fan of Knives go down? There's the Cloak of... that's Nightfall. Are we going to see another Fan of Knives here? There's another Fan of Knives, and it's just pushing down pressure onto Priest after Priest and all of these other units. Warden going to have a very bad day if it doesn't use the Scroll of Town Portal to get out of here quickly. Quickly uses Cloak of Shadows instead, as the Avatar of Vengeance is still trying to summon up more units. This Avatar of Vengeance, these Spirit of Vengeances, as they are invulnerable, able to deal decent piercing damage against these priests while not... while living up to that invulnerable name, just constantly putting pressure down onto these units again and again. Quick scout off to the north, making sure that there isn't an expansion. Ancient of War gonna go ahead and beat down this workshop here. as the Spirit of Vengeance is looking for ways to generate more corpses. Alright, Avatar of Vengeance has 20 seconds of life left. Meanwhile, Warden needs to be incredibly careful. Gonna go for a Tome of Retraining and perhaps waiting. Gonna go ahead and retrain the Fan of Knives and Blink to do what I thought he was gonna be trying to do earlier. Scroll of Town Portal now retreating all the way back home. We are at, we are about at nightfall, even though this little time indicator is not quite accurate. A new Avatar of Vengeance going to get summoned up here. Are we going to see a Blink and Fan of Knives? Ancient Protector trying to offer protection. There's that Fan of Knives, and there's a Blink into a new position, but they need to get some more more corpses out here on the battlefield. All right, TGW getting ready to dive on in again. Is he going to get into position? There's some more Holy Light trying to keep all of these units alive. There's another round of Fan of Knives, and I don't see any more Scroll of Healing. Only the Priest trying to keep everything alive the old-fashioned way. Avatar of Warden picking up a Clarity Potion. There's another Fan of Knives. Also has a Potion of Mana now, so should be able to get plenty of Fan of Knives here if he's able to, well, stick in this spot again. Are we going to see another Fan of Knives? We do, but the Priest are just constantly healing all of these units again and again. Warden not dropping the potion of, not dropping the Mantle of Intelligence here. There's another Blink. There's another Fan of Knives trying to summon up more corpses. There's 2 corpses now, and now they're going to be going straight after all of these priests. There goes another one again, and the priests are the weakest link. There goes another Rifleman. And this damage is just racking up slowly. There's level 7 now on the Warden. Warden has level 3 Blink here. Are we going to see another Fan of Knives trying to finish off all those units? Yes, we do. Water Elemental, 2 Riflemen, and a Priest all taken down. And the Warden, who just got to level 7, already halfway to level 8. TGW and this one-woman army, Warden, trying to do as much as he possibly can. Yep, we are at 1:30 in the morning, even though the icon shows that it is daybreak. So yeah, can't quite use this little icon indicator to know time in game. At least until a Night Elf player uses a Moonstone. Coming back through, Archmage making their way off to the north here. We're going to see the Avatar of Vengeance putting in pressure, trying to summon up a little bit more. Warden sitting at level 7. There's another Fan of Knives. That's going to be more damage and is currently just shadow melding, waiting for it. There's a Dust of Appearance. Warden going to go in and quickly back away. Didn't want to stick around for far too long. May try to blink and get in another Fan of Knives. There's another Fan of Knives, but much of the damage was already healed by all of these priests. Warden still hanging on strong right now. Are we going to see another Blink Fan of Knives? No, Warden does not want to dive into that position. There's a Blink, there's a Fan of Knives. Invul Potion now being used as the Warden still has, well, time to drop the potion or drop the Mantle of Intelligence during that timing there. All right, going to go ahead and try to quickly blink away. Another low hit point Priest, I think, was healed back up again. Yeah, no corpse there, just healed back up by a Holy Light. Coming back around. All right. Avatar of Vengeance. Is that going to disappear? All right, so the timing on this Avatar of Vengeance, that timing is wrong. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reset it. It said there was like 1:50 left on that cooldown. That was definitely not the case. Going to go ahead and resummon up that Avatar of Vengeance. Archmage, Paladin, dual level 4 heroes, while trying to clean up some experience, or clean up some creep camps and gain experience. This is the downside to going solo hero. Once your opponent has dual level 5 heroes, going up against a level 7 hero, the dual level 5s actually have a fairly strong chance of coming out ahead. As soon as you unlock that 500 or 600 hit point heal, that level 5's ability, that can drastically change the overall impact of the game here. TGW, however, that Avatar of Vengeance almost acting like another hero, should be able to come out ahead. All right, Paladin, oh, quick Fan of Knives right there. Mud Golem taken down. There's another Holy Light. We're going to see some damage absorbed by that Warden. Are we going to see another Fan of Knives? There's a lot of low hit point units, but they are able to get away. There's a Fan of Knives going straight after a Priest again. Are we going to see some Shadow Strikes? We do not, as, well, no Shadow Strike trained, only level 3 Blink. Warden is going to blink forward again, trying to get some more damage. There's a blink. There's a Phantom Knives. Another Rifleman getting taken out. Another Rifleman getting healed back up. No Staff of Sanctuary as the Warden trying to keep a little bit of distance. And now going to blink and a Phantom Knives gets up to level 8. 2 Priests and a Rifleman both getting taken out once more. Warden back up to 122 mana. This Spirit of Vengeance trying to just summon up a lot more units. That one Peasant may get taken down, and another Spirit of Vengeance should be popped on up here. 4 Peasants ready, or 4 Spirit of Vengeance ready to place down that pressure. Level 4 on that Paladin, level 4 on that Archmage. Warden trying to find the perfect opportunity to go after some of these units. Going to find another low hit point Peasant and finish it off again. All right, damage still racking up here as the Avatar of Vengeance, well, back on the other side. All right, Blink, Phantom Knives goes straight after a Priest, able to take it down easily. Another low hit point Rifleman, back up to 425 hit points after that 400 hit point heal. All right, are we gonna see some more damage be used? Oddly enough, this Avatar of Vengeance does have a very long range normal damage. I think that might actually be the longest range normal damage in the game from an actual trainable unit. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys come up with something else. Still always learning something new. All right, Warden gonna use a Moonstone most likely. Use a Clarity Potion. Perhaps drop that Mantle of Intelligence. And then drink all of up from that those moon wells, and then pick up that Mantle of Intelligence again. Warden, one-woman army, just trying to win outright. Meanwhile, Paladin and Archmage can both be at level 5 here in this upcoming battle. Back up to nearly 300 mana. Warden needs to summon up a new... Oh, no, there's a new Avatar of Vengeance. Sorry, cooldown did not say that that ability was used just quite yet. There are a couple of crabs out here on the battlefield, so is he going to try to summon up some of these, some of these Spirit of Vengeances off of the crabs? So TGW using every advantage that he can, including the map, in order to get corpses out here onto the battlefield. Low hit point Priest could have problems. Are we going to see a summon here going up onto the high ground? Avatar of Vengeance still looking to engage. There's a Blink, there's a Phantom Knives, some low hit point units. Rifleman about to get taken down. There's some Dispel, as well as we see a Shadow Strike snipe down a Priest. Warden sitting at level 8, gonna go ahead and try and back away again. Are we gonna see a Phantom Knives? No, we are not. The Spellbreakers trying to make sure that the Warden is unable to play her game outright, as the Water Elementals could get taken down here. All right, Water Elemental taken out. Warden sitting at about 8 1/3 right now, 8 1/4. And still, we're looking at another Blink, Phantom Knives. There goes a Water Elemental. There goes a Rifleman. And the Warden still just trying to place down all of that pressure, finishing off all of these Spellbreakers. Spellbreakers do deal bonus damage. There's another Spirit of Vengeance going to get summoned up here. Do deal bonus damage to anything with mana, feeding back some of that mana as we see a Shadow Strike now go down onto the Paladin. Paladin suffering quite a bit of damage, already down to 315 hit points, dropping below 3 here. Does have Gauntlets of Ogre, Strength plus 3, trying to finish off. There goes another Priest. Priest gets a Holy Light. Priest keeps the Paladin alive. Paladin keeps the Priest alive. There's another, round of attacks as the Warden able to blink away off to the north as the Avatar of Vengeance is trying to get back as well. The Spirit of Vengeances, 17 to 21 damage. Long distance mining by human. No mining by TGW as the Tree of Eternity opting to make its way over to that 3 o'clock spot. 11 supply versus 47. TGW just saying, let me try and win this game outright with just a bunch of abilities. Orb of Venom. Are we going to go ahead and try to dive on in? There's an Invul Potion used there. Paladin sitting at level 5. Does have Divine Shield, level 2 Devotion Aura, and a level 2 Holy Light. So not even opting for the level 3 Holy Light, just getting Divine Shield as well. All right, low hit point Avatar of Vengeance trying to hide in the very, very far back. That's going to be bad news for that Avatar of Vengeance. Water Elemental trying to make its way back around. Paladin could be in trouble, down to 127 hit points. Are we going to see some more damage? Are we going to see a Phantom Knives? There's a Shadow Strike, level 9 on the Warden. Level 9 Warden still trying to hold strong here. but only a 5 supply army going up against 35. And well, that is a handful of Spellbreakers who are all magic immune. New Avatar of Vengeance going to get summoned up here. Are we going to see a Blink Phantom Knives? No, just Shadow Strike straight up onto a Priest. No Phantom Knives. Oh, there's that Phantom Knives. Finishing it off. Perhaps a follow-up Shadow Strike will be possible as well, as the Avatar of Vengeance trying to get away. Entangling of the Gold Mine is done. Trying to get Wisps into that Gold Mine is key now, as the Warden not dropping the Mantle of Intelligence, using up a Clarity Potion, needs a Potion of Mana as well, picks up a Potion of Healing, and now making its way off to the north. Tree of Eternity taking quite a bit of damage. Down to 1,500 hit points, falling quickly. There's a Blink, there's a Shadow Strike. Are we going to see a Phantom Knives? No, we do not. Just damage over time onto the Archmage. Archmage down to 37 hit points, down to 3. And now the Warden has that other Potion of Mana. Again, is going to try to summon up more. Avatar of Vengeance completely surrounded, suffering large amounts of damage. No experience will be given, as there are no heroes alive. But the Avatar of Vengeance represented such a big part of this army. What is this? Supply count, 11 supply versus 33. But 5 of that 11 supply is a level 9 Warden. There is going to be quite some time before the Avatar of Vengeance is able to make its way back out onto the battlefield. You see a low hit point low hit point Rifleman trying to survive here. Orb of Venom damage coupled with Shadow Strike could finish it off. Is it going to finish it off? No, it is not. It's going to be able to stay alive at least a little while longer, as the Warden tries to fall back again. All right. Still getting more and more gold. We're at the 26 mark in this game. Is the Warden, what's going to happen to it? Warden comes back home, going to go ahead and re-drink from all of those Moonwells and perhaps make its way back off to the north. Meanwhile, the Tree of Eternity down to 300 hit points is going to end up getting taken out. Wisp, are they going to try and repair? They're not even bothering to repair. No, they are trying to repair here to stay alive. In comes the Warden. Warden gets a Phantom Knives, finishes off a Priest, a Rifleman, and another Rifleman here. More Wisps still fighting. The Tree of Eternity, solo Warden, really living up to her name right now, as the Avatar of Vengeance still needs 44 seconds. There's going to be a quick blink away again. No more mining possible. Perhaps the Tree of Eternity is going to join in on the battle, and it does by pulling some of the units over, and TGW is victorious, even though he has a lot less supply. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Please make some comments about the audio and what else I can do here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.